Good morning, my name is Shanna-Kaye and I'm going to show you how to save an image that is too dark whenever you photographed it and actually take and bring some life and color back into your picture. As you can see here on my screen, I've got Lightroom open. I edit in Lightroom 3 and Photoshop Elements 10. And the reason I do both programs is I feel like it helps my editing style to be able to batch edit in Lightroom and adjust exposure, white balance, my light and my black clipping, and then be able to add more color in Photoshop. So what we're going to do is we've got this image. I took this a couple days ago of my baby brother, Simeon. He is in the NICU in Tyler, Texas. And he's having problems with breathing, and he's going to be in there for a couple weeks, and so I'm not able to do newborn pictures like I thought I would. So I'm trying to get anything that I can that shows how sweet and what stage he's at now. He's not too small because he's 9 pounds, but he is a cutie. So in this picture, when I went to the NICU, he is a couple days old in this picture, and or I guess about a week old, and he is in a very dark room. They keep it really dark in there so that he can sleep, but as you see, you can't see anything. Let's see, I took these pictures. Let me come over here to library and tell you the details on it. This picture, which I can find all my settings over here in Lightroom under the library tab. This was taken at 400 ISO, which means I really should have bumped it up a lot more, but I didn't have it as high as I thought I did, and so that meant that the clarity was a lot better, but it still was so dark. And usually I wouldn't even look at this picture because it can't be saved. But we can take in Lightroom and come over to our Develop tab. The Develop tab has all of these things on it that show you how to edit the picture. And with a raw image is uncompressed. It's kind of what the name implies. It is everything about the picture. So I can go in and I can change all the elements of the photo with what I have, which you can't do with a JPEG. A JPEG is flattened. The way I describe it is whenever you have a painting, if you start with a blank canvas, you can add everything to it. You can change it up as you're going. But if you start out with a printed picture and you're just adding color on top, there's only so much you can do. So with this one, I would usually take my exposure tab here and slide it up. And if you keep going, you can go to 4 stops, which he looks really orange and red here. But if you do that, then you'll see you can keep going here and lighten the picture. And one reason that the color looks so bad right now is it's got black in it. And you see we have exposure, recovery, fill, light, and blacks. If you take and slide the black bar where there's no black, look what a difference that makes when you add black to a picture or you take it out. Now see, that's more of the soft baby look. So I will usually go through and I'll change my exposure, maybe add a little bit of light in here. Or if I don't like that, I'll come down to the brightness level and brighten it up a little bit. With this image, I already had some presets that I had made for the last time I photographed him. So what I did, we'll come back down to the bottom and show you. So it looked like this. I just added the presets, and we'll flip over to the picture I have saved here. This is the image that I ended up coming up with in Lightroom. And as you can see over here, I'll show you what I've done. I added the exposure to 3.55, so that's almost as much. It's almost as much as you can lighten or overexpose your photo in Lightroom. I added a little bit of fill light and bumped up the contrast to 40 because I like pictures. See if you look just to have some contrast. So I played a little bit with that, and we'll take and zoom in here. You can see even for an image that's so dark, it's really not that bad as far as grain. And that's because I shot it at 400 ISO. If I had shot it at 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, then it would have been a lot grainier. And some of the images I took are shot at that. So once we have it done in Lightroom, basically you're sliding these bars till it looks right. And as long as your screen is calibrated with your printer and you're happy with the color, you just slide them until you like it. If it's too bright, if some of it was white light, then we can take this recovery one and you'll look at the white and it kind of changes. You can take and pull the light down. There's a lot of great tools you can use with Lightroom. So once I'm done, I will take and put this program into Photoshop. So I'm going to save it and just show you exactly what I do. Okay, so when we go to exporting, we'll have export one file, and I have a folder already saved for it. And we're going to just I'll just do a small picture here since I've already got one of them done. So we'll just say that we're going to make a small picture, and it's going to tell me that I already have the same picture in it. So I'm going to use a unique name. And you look up at the top left hand and it'll say it's exporting this file. And I'm going to show you while it's exporting. If you look, this is the picture I have whenever I start with Lightroom. Let's see, there's my mouse. And I'm going to switch over to my next program. And show you what it looks like whenever it's edited. Okay, my computer is a little bit slow when I have both programs out. It doesn't like me too much. So we'll let that work real quick. So if you have any images that you've taken in RAW, then you can try this at home. If you don't have Lightroom, I'd suggest that you get a trial of it. They usually have 30-day trials of programs from Adobe. There we go. Okay. Now you see this is the edited image. So to get that, I'm going to just show you what I was able to do. I just wanted to add a little bit of the warmth back into the picture. So we're going to go over here and we'll see right here is the one that we just did, which is going to be a little bit darker than this one. And we'll pull it up. There we go. Okay, you see the difference between this one and this one? Okay, so Oh So Posh Photography is one of my favorite photographers. Lydia is just amazing, and she has created all these actions you see. Almost all the pink ones are ones from her. She has 2 different collections, and she's just releasing her 3rd collection today. And so she released a couple free actions, and I thought, well, I'll try and see what they work, how they work. And these worked really great for the hospital images. So she has an action called Bel Air, and it's from the Timeless Elegance package. And so I just double click on that and let the actions run over here. And you'll see, and as you look, there we have some color added. And I know with this one, it's at 90%. I like to tweak almost everything. So I go to the opacity, make sure it's on the bottom layer so it'll do all of them. And I tweaked it down to about 70, just so that it's not quite so vibrant, but it looks like you just walked up to him while he was sleeping. And that's all I did on this image. You can take and you can do all different kinds of actions. Sometimes I'll do sharpening actions if their eyelashes are sharper, or I want to just sharpen up the picture completely. I'll do that. And actually I did forget one thing that I did, which we'll go ahead and flatten this, and I'll show you the last thing. A lot of times with babies, their skin is kind of red. Sometimes they have a color cast to them. If they have jaundice, they may have a yellow skin tone. And so I want to bring back the soft skin tones. So I take and I have a action that will take some of the redness out of the skin, and it works wonders. So as soon as that is done, we'll go down. I have a lot of actions, as you can see. We'll go down to my red skin. Okay, this is another one of Oh So Posh's. This is from her Once Upon a Dream set. and it's called Red Skin Remedy. And this one works really well. She's got several that were in the Once Upon a Dream set, which is great for newborns. I've used it with a little bit of all of my pictures, but it's especially made for producing the really awesome, pretty tones on a newborn. So we'll take that one, and she has little things here that will explain how to use it. This one we use a soft white brush with about a 50% opacity. So I'll get my brush tool and make it white, make it a little bit bigger, and go down to around 50%. Okay. And what we do is we just make sure that the layer's clicked here. Okay, and you see that? Now you can see from my brush that I don't have it on a soft brush, so let's go back. I must have it on a different one. Here we go. Okay, this will be better. And you can see now how it's taking the red out of the skin. And so I just take and go all over. Sometimes I don't need quite as much color taken out, and so I'll take and adjust that as I need to. But for the sake of demonstration, I'll just show you how it works. So you can just take and brush over anywhere that looks excessively red. You can do a little bit over here. And then you can go back to your layer and look at the difference. So, you know, I may say, well, that's a little bit too light, so I'll just take the opacity and bump it down a little bit. And then you're done. And that is how I saved this image. I hope this has been beneficial for you. If you have any questions, you can Facebook me or email me at sk@Shanna-Kaye, spelled SHANNA-KAYE.com. Thank you.